This is a video explaining how the second encounter of the new Sundered Doctrine dungeon works, since there is an insane amount of misinformation online about it. The biggest piece of misinformation I've seen are people that think commune extends your damage phase. Spoiler alert, does not. It actually makes your damage phase a lot harder. So I'm going to do my best to explain this. However, this encounter is extremely complicated to understand, so please bear with me. First things first, let's explain the layout of the room. The room has 4 wheels. From left to right, I'm going to label these 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1 is the leftmost wheel, 4 is the rightmost wheel. There are also these 4 large glyphs. The leftmost glyph corresponds to wheel number 1, and the rightmost glyph corresponds to wheel number 4. There are also 5 symbols from Vow of the Disciple. These symbols are hive, knowledge, stop, commune, and kill. Each symbol corresponds to a specific event that will occur during the encounter. These events are the following. Hive spawns 2 large ogres. Knowledge spawns knights and extra wizards. Stop prevents enemies from spawning. Commune is where the boss will summon resonant seekers or bees to target you. And then kill has the boss lower his shield, and that way the boss will become damageable. During the encounter, wheels will hum to life. This wheel that has been brought to life is identified by a yellow or red tint in the center of the wheel, but there's also a spotlight that the boss will shine on it initially. Depending on what symbol is shown on this wheel that is brought to life, that event will occur. After that event has occurred, a new wheel will become active, and then that event will occur, and this is constantly repeating itself during the encounter. This means that if all 4 wheels are showing the hive symbol, you're going to find yourself having an endless onslaught of ogres. This also means that if you would like to minimize the risk of death, you want your wheels to show stop, as stop produces the least number of enemies to spawn in. If you desperately need ammo, I recommend knowledge, because it's easier to survive than hive, at least on contest mode. While this is occurring, there are these large glyphs towards the back, which will show you symbols from right to left. These glyphs are currently identifying what attacks will occur from left to right if you fail to reach damage by the time the far leftmost glyph is revealed. And as a result, you will find a much more enjoyable experience if you completely ignore everything that these large glyphs are telling you. When damage begins, these glyphs will change to the currently active symbol on each wheel, which is much more important. This means that the glyphs you see before damage do not matter, as long as you have the glyphs you want on the wheels when damage begins. So the too long, didn't read way that this encounter works is that damage will begin once the boss uses a wheel that has the kill buff active. This means that the boss will then drain his shield, and we will go through a damage phase that follows the glyph patterns on the remaining wheels. So if you use kill on the leftmost wheel, the boss will then go through 3 attacks. 1 for wheel 2, 1 for wheel 3, and lastly for wheel 4. This means as well, if you were to use kill on the rightmost wheel, you won't see any attacks from the boss as you started damage using the last wheel. The further left wheel that you input kill on, the longer your damage phase will be, as the boss has more events or attacks it needs to cycle through. So what is the ideal way to run this encounter? As the encounter starts, you want to change the wheels 2, 3, and 4 to the stop symbol. It does not matter what order you change these wheels. The only thing that matters is that the wheel shows stop. Once all 3 of these wheels show stop, Then you can make wheel 1 show kill. Once you have wheel 1 show kill, you want to kill every enemy on the map and then verify that wheels 2, 3, and 4 still show stop. When the boss activates a wheel, when it's finished with that wheel, the symbol may rotate either clockwise or counterclockwise 1 space. So that means you may lose the wheel being on stop. When damage begins, the large glyphs will then update to what the wheels show when damage started. And these glyphs tell you what's going to occur during damage from left to right. Your ideal situation is as soon as damage starts, those glyphs update to kill, stop, stop, stop. If one of these symbols does not show stop, that event will occur when the boss reaches that part of the damage phase. So if these symbols are kill, stop, hive, stop, once the damage phase reaches its 50% mark, ogres are going to spawn in. And that's because the damage phase works as the following. The first event occurs as soon as damage phase starts, at 0%, and this will always be kill, which breaks the boss's shield. At 25%, the second event will occur. At 50%, the third event will occur, and at 75%, the fourth event will occur. This means that if you use kill on the third wheel, you lose 50% of your damage time because your damage phase will start halfway through, and the first and second events will never occur. You can tell how long you have left during damage and what event is coming up by using the timer at the top of your screen that's called Lockset Progression. If damage starts and you notice a glyph has been updated to an unfavorable symbol, you have until that event occurs to fix it. This means if you notice glyph 2 shows hive, you have until the Lockset progression bar hits that 25% to change it to a different symbol, ideally stop. You can see on the video in the background that when damage begins, I noticed wheel 1 was changed to hive. I don't want ogres to spawn during damage, so I can change it to stop. How does symbol changing work? So depending on the amount of knowledge you possess, you can either move a symbol 1, 2, or 3 places. And the direction of the movement is dictated by the rotating hand. You can change the direction of the hand by shooting the crux above the wheel. You gain resonance by killing wizards and picking up the buff that they drop. By starting damage with a kill, stop, stop, stop combination, you'll find that you have very few enemies that spawn during damage, which makes dealing damage significantly easier. If you run weapons like Sleeper Simulant, you can very comfortably 3-phase on contest mode, even 2-phase. I apologize if I've missed anything in this video, or if this video was still confusing. It's a very new encounter, and it's a very complicated encounter, but I really wanted to get this video out while contest mode was still active.